Hello everyone. This is November 3rd, 2023. The market rallied hugely today. It had a big gap up in the morning. The rally, which started last Friday, continued throughout the entire week, for all 5 days. The next little resistance is around 438, 439. There might be some good news over the weekend, like a ceasefire in the Middle East. If that happens, we could see this rally continue into Monday or Tuesday. Last week, I found a very interesting website that can help you monitor insider trading activities, providing insights into how the big wheels are positioning in the market. It gives you a sense of the sentiment from within. Over the past week, notably, there were 170 individual buys, and you can sort this by transaction type. If you switch to the past 2 weeks, there were 210 buys, so for the past 7 days, the number of buy transactions spiked by 400%. That was a huge bullish indicator. So, for those of you in the financial industry, you can search by industry type. For instance, I'm familiar with financials. To see the insider or big real sentiment in the financial industry, look for money by transactions. There were many buy transactions. Take the company Arrow, for example, which is a financial company. There were multiple insider buys by different directors on October 27th and October 26th. You can click on that ticker to open the Yahoo Finance page and look at some fundamental data. The PE ratio of Arrow is around 11, which is not too bad, not too expensive. And if you look at the chart, on October 26th and 27th, the price was around $20. And today it's $23, which is a rally of more than 10%. The market right now is showing that Arrow is up more than 10%, which is beating the S&P 500 index. Now, looking at other industries, such as information technology, let's examine the SPY sentiment, the SPY transactions for the past week. There were 5 different buy transactions. Then, looking at the utility sector, I'm not expecting to see a lot of bullish indicators because the utilities are kind of defensive. Indeed, there were no buy transactions in the utility sector. That makes sense because when market values for utilities are defensive, the most beneficial sector is technology. Moving on to other features, let's switch to the insider trader's view. This page shows you the individual insider or big whale's performance. Look at this average return, it only talks about the buy transactions and their historical performance. This page tracks the historical performance of buy transactions. Let's examine the average return. We'll only consider buy transactions, calculate the one-year return for each transaction, and then determine the average of these returns for all transactions by the same insider, which gives us an annualized average return. The win rate is the percentage of profitable buy transactions after 1 year for all the buy transactions from this insider, so it's calculating the probability of a successful rate over 1 year. For instance, if an insider bought stock on November 2, 2022, we look at the stock price and its return on November 2, 2023, to understand what this win rate means. Now, let's examine the 5-star performers in the industry, specifically within the financial sector. Over the past months, there haven't been many, and this is sorted by default by the timestamp of the last buy activity. Looking at the past 3 months, I recognize First Horizon. This individual is the director of First Horizon Corporation, and you can see his performance, the win rates, and the average returns distribution over 2 weeks, 1 month, and 3-month time frames. Hovering over a dot, for example, indicates 2 buy transactions that occurred in May of this year. The dot represents the return after 2 weeks, approximately 7% to 6%. Another dot represents a transaction that also occurred in May, and the return after 1 month is around 10%. This 5-star performer has consistently provided good returns, even in the long run. His buy transactions have resulted in significant gains. For instance, his last purchase in May/April 2020 showed a 100% gain by April 2021. The graphic user design allows you to see the distribution of these returns on each card, which is quite effective. Additionally, you can switch to other companies to view the performance of the same insider. For example, there's a 3% gain on a purchase made in September this year, with the gain after 1 month being 3%. Let's examine some other industries. Information technology industries, for instance, have shown 4-star performance over the past 3 months. I'm aware of this company, Arrow Technology, which specializes in home security. Grady is a director at Arrow Technology and has completed 16 out of 21 possible transactions on a yearly basis. If you look at this chart, this bar indicates that 5 out of 21 buy transactions returned negatively, while the remaining ones returned positively, with the largest return being around 222%. The buy transactions occurred precisely around the bottom of the pandemic. If you scroll down to the table, you can see that this transaction happened at only $2, astonishing. Click on this and open. Okay, this is Arrow technology. Its current price is $9. Look at that. You can also click on this bookmark icon to access the source of truth, which shows the transactions reported by the SEC. Now, looking at this chart, you can see his buy transaction performance within the industry and historical data. Two weeks after his buy transactions, the returns were random and unpredictable. After 1 month, still random, but after 6 months, most of the returns are positive. The picture becomes much clearer after 6 months. So you can note down his name and bookmark or follow his transactions. Check this website every week to see whether any 4-star or 5-star performers have made any notable transactions. Follow them. If you cannot be an enemy of them, then befriend them. I've looked at 3-star performance in the IT industry. You can filter companies by market cap, small cap, mid cap, large cap. You can also search by insider name, company name. Now, looking at 3-star performance, we have companies like eBay, Intel, Nike, all big Fortune 500 companies. This director has recently made a $1.2 million buy transaction, all from his own pocket. These websites record the buy transactions, but these are open market buy transactions, not acquisitions from non-open market sources. They are open market buys. Look at this, 2 weeks after the buy, a 4% increase, 1 month after, 6%. And Nike's current price? $107, which is more than a 10% gain. So, follow this director. Even a 3-star performer can offer very positive returns and good trading opportunities.